This morning, I woke up at 4:30 in the morning. I sat by myself when it's still dark at the ocean looking at it, crying. I am the product of where I started. I grew up in the slums of India, and I also seen the worst of that culture because I grew up in the low end of the totem pole, and I did whatever I had to do to get out of it, and I had a lot of kind people that came into my life and changed my trajectory. And I changed my family's trajectory. I was the first one to have a high school education, and a lot of things just came together just in time. I can't explain why this happened for me. People that live in poverty, especially in those third world countries, they can't get out. The life I have, it wasn't even in my imagination growing up. And just sitting there looking at the ocean, looking at the sky, and I'm asking the bigger question, what's the purpose for me? I've accomplished enough. I'll never have to work if I don't want to. But this is not enough for me. I don't know if it's because I want to go give back. I don't know if it's because I am just sad that I'm missing something. I don't know.
Or perhaps you're experiencing grace. You know, often I can sit and cry with no one there, thinking about how I was born, what I was born into, and who I get to be today in people's lives and my family. You're telling this, I can start crying immediately. I can relate to it. It's not sadness. I used to think it's sadness. It's just overwhelming grace to know I have done my part. But there was also grace, or I wouldn't be here. There's no way. There are many others that were in the same environment and they did not. But instead of what's wrong with that, I look back on that and I just feel such unbelievable gratitude. And it makes me remember that it's not just me. And that makes me even more connected to a higher sense of purpose. That whatever God has put in front of me is there for a reason, whether it's another human being or whether it's a challenge or a problem or an opportunity. And it's my job then to take advantage of the grace that's there, find a way to utilize it for something even more. And there's a longing because it's not the Indian culture that you are leaving. You're leaving the part of the culture that discarded humanity. But the Indian culture is a very beautiful culture. It's one of my favorite and Sage's favorite cultures in the world. You've had a chance to go home and reclaim some of the beauty of your culture, and there's some part of you that wants to appreciate that. And you're just beginning appreciating, and there's relief that's going on, and there's also a why, and the why, you'll never have the answer to why because you get to decide why. Grace does not have those limitations put upon you. Grace has just given you the opportunity to have a completely different life. So that's why I want to feed 1 billion people I don't know. And they don't need to thank me. It feels awesome that they never have to thank me. They don't even know I'm the source of it. All the children in India they're provided water for, Sage and I, 250,000 people every day. They have no idea that we're the source of that. I don't go there so they can thank me. I just know grace has been there for me, and so I want to be a source of grace wherever it's needed that I can. And it shows up in all kinds of ways, and whatever way shows up, we feel the call and we do what we can to make a difference. And that perpetuates the grace, in my opinion. It's a way of giving back for the grace that's already been given to us. The grace of this relationship I have with this incredible being. I don't know a greater being on the planet. It's my wife. Grace of our family. Grace of our dear friends. Grace of our child. Grace of all of you as dear friends. Like, if we can't be happy with all this, what are you going to do? But there are plenty of people that aren't because they don't see the grace in it. They're missing God or the universe or whatever term you want to give that has given you something as the center of their appreciation, and the belief that there's a higher purpose in it all, and that you don't have to know what it is because there's all kinds of purposes. When people obsess about what's my purpose, I don't know my purpose. I'm like, what makes you believe you have one purpose? My purpose changes based on who's in front of me. There's certain things that are consistent. I'm here to help. I'm here to love. I'm here to grow, learn, expand, share, break through, have fun. There's certain core intentions that no matter what happens in my life, they always are met. And there's core intentions in you we'll discover soon. And when you know what they are, and you start to realize no matter whatever's happened in your life, certain things always come about, even when it's challenging. Always find a way to laugh. That's new in the last 23 years of my life. My wife helped that immensely. So is Billy Beck and my dear friends. So it's like, it's beautiful what you're experiencing. You're experiencing what you've been waiting for. You're experiencing coming home in yourself. You're experiencing separating the pain from the culture and realizing your culture is not just the slums where people surviving. Your culture is a beautiful culture that has thousands of years of history, not hundreds of years of history. And it deserves your love because you came out of it. I'm grateful you came out of it. Your presence here is beautiful. All of us can feel your presence. Who can feel this man's beautiful presence? So what is required of all of us is faith. Every religion agrees on that one thing. They don't agree on the name of God, how you should honor God, what form God comes in. And the only people that really have a dark life have no faith. But have you ever gone so fast you didn't notice the beautiful water you're driving by? Or the trees? Or the sky? Or the sun? Or the moon? The clouds? Or the wind on your face? You've slowed down enough to start to feel. Part of what meditation is a slowing down. But your preference is to go home, inside yourself. And to be grateful for all that life has given you, grace has given you, God has given you, whatever you want to call it. I'll call it grace because it's less attached to a single word. Call that the universe's grace, God's grace. Krishna, Muhammad, Buddha, Christ. You can pick whatever language or word you want, but it's grace. Grace is something you did not have to earn, which means somewhere your soul must have more value than you realize. Just the way it is. Before you did a thing. Before you extracted yourself from that environment and got the help that you did. Before you grew into the man you are today. So it should just give you even more joy to hang out with the guy you've become. And when you can enjoy hanging out with that guy, you'll enjoy hanging out with everybody else so much more.